Okay, we are recording. We're going to start with Karen Garigian, followed by Tom Curran. Go ahead, Karen.
Hi, Stacy. I'm sorry, I didn't have a question.
Okay. I'm thinking Tom Curran might not have one here either. Tom Curran, are you there? Okay. Let's try Jim McBride. Go for three. We're going to go to Mike Petraglia.
Can you hear me, Lawrence?
Go ahead, Mike.
Yes, I can.
There's Jim. If Jim, you want to go ahead?
Sure. Lawrence, obviously a lot of changes in the front seven this year. Wondering if you think you have to take on a bigger leadership role, since you've been here.
I use my abilities to help out younger players and players that come in for the best I can. It's one of those situations where a lot of things changes every year, so your role changes throughout what you have to say and be. But I feel like we have a good group of people that have their knowledge of what they're good at, and they communicate that with other players that are coming in or trying to develop the team as a whole. Because we're a brotherhood. So this brotherhood, everybody has to say in some type of way. You try to do the best you can to lead in a certain way for everybody gets that knowledge that you obtain throughout the league.
Thanks.
Next question, Mike Petraglia, followed by Phil Perry.
Thanks. Lawrence, what have been your impressions of DeMarcus Covington? Obviously, you knew him as an outside linebackers coach on the defense, but now he's working with the defensive line. Just want to get your impression on what his energy is like, how he coaches you guys up.
His energy is real good. I feel like we have a good coaching staff. Everybody brings their unique way of coaching to the staff. So it's one of those things as we're in this process to virtual meetings until now, we're building this brotherhood, like I said before, and we see how we interact with each other, how he interacts with the D-line, how he interacts with the linebackers, but coming in, working with us, then working with the outside linebackers last year, coming in, now bringing all that knowledge he has from that aspect down to the D-line. It helps us see some of the bigger picture more and more. So some of the questions that we have asked, he could easily answer it because this is what we was coaching last year, and this technique, this is how we're developing in this way. So it brings that unique aspect that he's able to share what he was coaching last year and bring it down from not going over there, hey, what were you saying? How do you play this? He's in the room to help us out with the situations.
Thank you.
Next, Lawrence, I'm going to have you tilt that screen up just a tiny bit. That's good. Perfect. And we'll go to Phil Perry, followed by Dan Roach.
Thanks, Stacy. Hey, Lawrence, how's it going, man?
Doing good, yourself?
Pretty good. I'm curious your reaction to a move that the offense made to bring in Cam Newton. You were on the team in 2017 where you guys played him. I think it was week 4 that year. But what went through your mind when you saw that Cam Newton was joining the team?
What went through everybody's mind. We're during COVID, you're trying to figure out how to bring a team together and new aspects of bringing people in. And, you get a person like that, big body, mobile quarterback, you're like, this is going to be exciting when we get into practice. But the dynamic he brings into the locker room and everybody embracing him is the best part because, we got a unique team here. So once he came in, he's fitting right in. I think Hoy and Stidham, they're welcome them open arms and, them coming onto the field and hearing them talk, you can see them throwing different plays out and aspects out. So it's going to be one of those things that we can't wait to get the pads on to see pretty much how everything's rolling together with Cam being in here, with Hoy being here, and Stidham, how the playbook is going to come to life.
Thanks, Lawrence.
Dan Roach is next. Go ahead, Dan.
Oh.
Dan, I think you're muted.
Yeah.
You're still muted.
We'll we'll come back to you, Dan. We'll go Mike Giardi, and then we'll go back to Dan Roach.
Hey, Lawrence, thanks for doing this. I'm just curious. We saw a handful of guys, well, more than a handful on your team, and about 70 guys in the league opt out. You have a young daughter. I'm just curious how much thought you gave to maybe the idea of not coming back, and what made you decide that this was the right thing to do.
Everybody has to do what they got to do. You have to give credit to people that did opt out. They opt out for a certain reason. They're looking out for their health, their family's health. Those are one of those conversations. I wanted to play football this year, so it was something that you always discuss. Every last one of people in the locker room, you can't say you didn't discuss it because the concerns are there. There's always going to be concerns because it's a virus that nobody has to answer for. So that is there, but understanding that the team is doing the best they can to keep us safe. They're cleaning the facilities, and players holding each other accountable of trying to keep everybody else's family safe. It's one of those things that you really know that's going to happen here. So me knowing that, me having that trust in my teammates, gave me the opportunity, like, hey, I'm going to play this year. But I understand people that decided they want to opt out. That's part of their reasons they did it, and you can't blame them for doing it. You just got to understand that it's one of these things that if you truly, that's how you feel, that's how you really feel like you needed to do it.
Thank you, Lawrence. Appreciate it.
We're going to try to go back to Dan Roach. Hopefully, it's working okay. Go ahead, Dan.
Lawrence, do you have me?
Yeah, I got you.
Sorry about that. I'm technically unsound when it comes to working with this technology. Just a thought on kind of following up with what you were talking about with the opt-outs, and with Hightower and Chung gone, and you were saying earlier your leadership role maybe gets a little bit bigger. Just a thought on the defense and maybe how young it's going to be all of a sudden, and how it can get better and better in your eyes as you guys go almost every single day with some of the young guys being injected into this defense.
Well, that's what the NFL is. The NFL. That happens. You get people coming out, you get people coming in. But we got a lot of use here. We understand that, but we use the video conference to our advantage throughout the offseason. So we built on that. When we got in the building, we're building on that. All we can do is keep stacking days. If we're saying, hey, we got a crystal ball, like this is how we're going to do it, this is how fast we're going to do it, you can't do it. All you can do is take a day from one period of going out there conditioning to another period of the walkthrough, and always trying to develop and trying to get little hints of how you can do something better and involved. Like I'm part of the thing. I'm getting better every single day, and that's the key to going up to season. You can't just go in like, oh, we're going to be this, because you don't know who was able to work out. You don't know who was able to do anything. So you're like, we have to take it step by step, and we will get there.
Thank you.
Next question, Zach Cox, followed by Evan Lazar.
Hey, Lawrence. Just wanted to ask you about one of the veteran additions to your position group, Bo Allen. Just how is he fitting in so far, and what do you think that he can bring to your group this season?
He fits in great. Personality is amazing. Came in the meetings, asking a lot of good questions, helping out the younger guys that came in. Like I said, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you how we're going to go on there and field together. We never practiced together. It's one of those situations when they have OTAs, when they have mini camps. So, but once we get that aspect of getting on the field and developing technique through playing next to him, me develop playing next to him, like we're all going to change something up, try to get a relationship a little bit better. All we can do right now is build that relationship during the walkthrough, doing film studies, but we're going to pretty much see more of it once we actually get the pads on and we get going. Because you only can do so much sitting in the chair and doing walkthrough. So when those pads come on, we're going to see what we really have and on the play, and then what we're really going to do as we move each other around and it's seeing each other's movements.
Great, thank you.
Looks like two final questions, Evan Lazar and Steve Sanchez. Go ahead, Evan.
Hey, Lawrence. You hinted at it with Phil about Cam's mobility and how that might be able to help the defense at practice prepare for mobile quarterbacks. I know you guys haven't been out there yet, but kind of just what can you think that you can learn from Cam in that aspect, and how to face all these guys like Lamar and everything that's on your schedule?
Yeah, when you really watch Cam move, you can see how fluent, quick he is. He can read the coverage. He can get the ball out of his hand. It's one of the things that's just going to help us get better as a team. If you look around the league, there's a lot of mobile quarterbacks, and he was one of them. But he's one of the top ones to this day. So you have to be like, how can we use his mobility? How can we use the aspect of Hoyer and develop each skill of practice? Because as a defense, you get different teams, different weeks, and we got that aspect right now. We got people that could move, people that could throw. We got people that could just change up plays. So it just helps you develop more and more as a team, and it helps that situation in solid football.
How difficult is it to go up against a guy like Cam on the defensive side of the ball, to tackle him or to bring him down or all those types of things?
I can't tell you what in practice, but playing against him, he's a big man. He can move very well, very agile, could cut on a dime. So it's very difficult to tackle him when I was facing him. But it's one of those things is once we keep moving on, we're going to see how everything starts developing and it starts working itself out.
Thanks, Lawrence.
And final question, Steve Sanchez.
Thanks, Stacy. Hey, Lawrence, how are you, bud?
Good, and yourself?
Good. You've been to 2 Super Bowls in a row, and then last year happened. How disappointing it was for you, and how much energy and drive you're going to have for this year?
Well, let's see. I went 7 years without going to a Super Bowl, so I'm blessed that they're able to get to 2 of them. But it happens. The league is a league. You're going to win games. You're going to lose games. You're going to go. You're not going to go. There's people that's been in the NFL that's never been to a Super Bowl. There's a lot of people that's been in the NFL that never went to a playoffs. So, but I believe that you have the same drive going into the season that every single team had, is that you're trying to make your team win. You want to win every game. You want to get to the thing. But when you think of, I'm going to go to the playoffs this year, I'm going to get to Super, you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen that year. All you can do is take it game by game. You can take it practice by practice. And I believe if we take it practice by practice, game by game, then we'll get to the goal that everybody has. And everybody's main goal is Super Bowl. That you play in the NFL, everybody wants to go to the Super Bowl. But to get to that Super Bowl, we got to win in practice. To win in practice, we got to win in the classroom. And it develops. Like I say, you stack those days, you stack the time that you have to try to get to that thing. So I think we have a great drive, like we do every single year. Nobody goes in the NFL like that. I'm just not going to go play this hard because I don't want to win a ring or win a game. We all have the same drive, and all we can do now is prepare for the next day and what we're going to learn today, before we can get better and better, before we go out there for our first game and try to win the first game and keep going.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. And for the 57 people on the call, thank you for your participation.